Ethiopia is endowed with abundant natural and agricultural resources, offering access to large and diverse markets across Africa and beyond. Coupled with a young, skilled, and trainable workforce, positions Ethiopia as an attractive destination for investment.
The increase in payments in national currencies allows for the reduction of debt service charge and increases the financial independence.
This group of major emerging economies began small in 2009 with Brazil, Russia, India, and China, or the simple acronym BRIC. It was renamed BRICS a year later when its first African member joined, South Africa. At the 2023 Johannesburg, a BRICS partner country status allows nations to participate in meetings without full voting rights. Uganda earned this status earlier this year. The country's newly tapped oil reserves is expected to further position the continent as BRICS' strategic resource hub. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, formally accepted an invitation to join BRICS as a partner country as well. The West African country holds the world's 9th largest reserves of crude oil, another critical resource for BRICS. Algeria was invited as a partner in 2024 but has yet to confirm its status. As a top global gas supplier, it stands to benefit upon assuming full membership. Zimbabwe officially applied in March, pledging alignment with BRICS' principles of sovereign equality and...
For decades, the story of global power has been written from Washington, London, and Brussels. But in 2025, something unprecedented is happening, and the world can't look away. Across the African continent, 55 nations, home to 1.4 billion people, holding nearly a third of the planet's natural resources, are coming together under a single vision, to stand not as fragmented states, but as a unified force in a multipolar world. This is not fiction. It's unfolding right now through trade, defense, and diplomacy. From Addis Ababa to Johannesburg, from Cairo to Abuja, leaders are coordinating policies that connect markets, build joint infrastructure, and speak with one voice on the global stage. For the first time in modern history, Africa is shaping the new order instead of reacting to it. The economic engine, AfCFTA, and the $3 trillion market. At the heart of this transformation lies the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, the largest free trade zone in the world by number of participating countries. Launched officially in 2021, AfCFTA's mission is simple but revolutionary: to remove borders for goods and services across Africa and create a single market worth more than $3 trillion. Picture this: African-made cars rolling from South Africa to Kenya without tariffs. Cocoa processed in Ghana and shipped directly to Nigeria's food industries. Digital startups from Rwanda partnering seamlessly with fintech hubs in Egypt. AfCFTA isn't just paperwork. It's the logistical foundation of Africa's emerging supereconomy, one that can trade internally, grow manufacturing, and reduce dependence on raw material exports. When the agreement is fully implemented, analysts expect intra-African trade to rise by more than 50%, creating millions of jobs and giving Africa the leverage to negotiate globally on its own terms. This economic unity is what underpins the so-called Superpower alliance. Because economic independence is the first step toward geopolitical strength. Strategic partnerships, Africa and the BRICS Plus era. While AfCFTA binds Africa from within, new alliances are linking it outward, and none are more significant than Africa's partnership with BRICS. In 2023 and 2024, BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, expanded to include new members from the global south. Among them were Egypt and Ethiopia, two of Africa's most strategically placed nations. This expansion was more than symbolic. It marked the beginning of BRICS Plus, a platform where African nations could influence global finance, trade, currency policy, and technology exchange. Through BRICS' new development bank, African countries are now gaining access to financing for infrastructure projects without the political strings often attached by Western lenders. Railways, energy grids, digital corridors, projects once stalled for decades, are now being revived under South-South cooperation. And as the dollar's dominance in global trade is slowly challenged by local currency settlements, Africa's voice in these decisions has never been louder. For the first time, African policymakers sit at the same table discussing payment systems, digital currencies, and supply chains as equals, not dependents. That's why observers are calling this the birth of an African-led global partnership. Security and defense. Building African stability, no alliance can thrive without security. For decades, Africa's defense landscape was fragmented, reliant on foreign peacekeepers or bilateral aid. But that's changing fast. Under the African Union's Peace and Security Council, nations are expanding regional defense pacts. The East African Standby Force, the G5 Sahel Joint Force, and the SADC Brigade are beginning to coordinate under a single continental framework. What began as regional peacekeeping is evolving into structured cooperation, joint training, intelligence sharing, and African-made defense industries. Countries like Nigeria, Egypt, and South Africa are already producing drones, armored vehicles, and cybersecurity systems tailored to African realities. This is not about militarization. It's about strategic autonomy, the ability to secure one's borders and ensure peace without waiting for external intervention. When African nations solve African crises, the world pays attention. Energy, technology, and the new industrial age economic power demands energy and innovation. Africa is leading in both. Across the continent, renewable energy capacity has tripled in a decade. Morocco runs one of the largest solar farms on Earth. Kenya generates more than 90% of its power from renewables. Meanwhile, new oil and gas discoveries in Namibia, Mozambique, and Senegal are giving Africa leverage in the global energy market. But the real transformation is digital. From Nigeria's fintech revolution to Kenya's M-Pesa, from Egypt's AI startups to Rwanda's robotics programs, Africa is not just consuming technology, it's building it. The creation of Smart Africa Alliance, involving over 30 nations, is driving the goal of a single digital market, harmonizing data laws, and investing in broadband infrastructure. This digital unity is what links Africa's youth, the youngest population in the world, to global innovation networks. When a continent of 1 billion people goes online together, the balance of global creativity changes forever. At the 2023 BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, a message was heard loud and clear: the global south is rising. Africa, once viewed as the last frontier, is now the center of gravity for global diplomacy. From climate negotiations to supply chain diversification, every major power now seeks African partnerships. The African Union has secured a permanent seat at the G20, recognizing its role as a continental actor rather than a collection of separate states. This marks a tectonic shift. Africa now participates directly in shaping the rules of trade, climate action, and peace building, not as aid recipients, but as co-architects of the future. When the world says the multipolar order is here, it means that power no longer flows in one direction. It moves through Africa as well. Of course, this new alliance is not without challenges. Infrastructure gaps, governance issues, and policy coordination remain difficult. Some nations are moving faster than others, and old systems of dependency still cast long shadows. Yet the difference today is mindset. The belief that Africa's unity is possible and profitable is spreading across the continent. Pan-African institutions are modernizing. Youth movements are demanding transparency. Private investors are betting on Africa's internal market rather than its exports. Step by step, this alliance is becoming tangible. A shared railway in East Africa, a cross-border payment system in West Africa, a continental electricity grid in the South. These are not headlines. They are building blocks of a real transformation. In a world of shifting alliances and uncertain futures, one truth is becoming undeniable. Africa is no longer waiting for permission to lead. Its economic network is expanding. Its partnerships are diversifying. Its people, young, creative, and globally connected, are shaping the world's next chapter. The Superpower Alliance is not about military might or domination. It's about sovereignty through cooperation, strength through unity, and influence through partnership. From the mines of the Congo to the ports of Mombasa, from fintech hubs in Lagos to solar cities in North Africa, Africa's rise is rewriting the global map. And this time, the world isn't just watching. It's realizing that the future of balance, innovation, and growth runs directly through the African continent. Because what Africa just unveiled is not merely an alliance. It's a blueprint for how the 21st century will work: multipolar, collaborative, and unmistakably African.